Well, we're here at Addington on a Sunday and catching up with Jeff Whittaker after the win of Zoltan Boscik. How'd I go, Jeff? Was that close?
Yeah, real good. No, you did a good job.
We're going to ask you about the name in a minute, but very, very impressive win. That was a good field of three-year-old trotters and it was very impressive.
Yeah, mate, I've always liked him. And, he won first up for Luke at Whittaker, and then we give him a wee freshen up. And he had a couple of good trials and we were, happy with where he was at. And then he come here in the wet and we, it sort of brought me back down to earth pretty quick. But, hey, we just turned the page and, the next week he's been good as gold. And so, we're happy with where he's at and what he's doing.
He, very raw, like you said, there was a few potential errors on that second run, but he's had 3 starts now for two wins. Sunday meeting at Addington, sometimes people can say, it's lesser horses, but a couple of nice up-and-coming 3-year-old trotters in that race, so it's a good form line. You must have been wrapped, and how well behaved he was, posing in behind them and zipping through quite hard.
Yeah, mate, he's always had good manners. Only working a few, we can spend a bit of time on him, and Tracy gives me a bit of barrier most days, so I knew he was always going to trot away from one, and his manners are good. So, and his work this week has been nice. I was really happy with him, and he'd been eaten up, and so I was thinking I was bringing quite a nice horse to the races today, to be honest.
Jim Curtin knows his way around horses. Was he happy with him and like the feel he gave?
Yeah, he's liked him right from the start. Yeah, so and he was disappointed he couldn't drive him at Whittaker because he was over on the coast at Westport and that. So, but Luke's got a share in him, so the whole family own him, so it's pretty close as well with Sue. So, and that's where the horse is named. Sue Zabo, her husband, he was a wrestler and he's from Hungary. And he went to England and he was a professional wrestler over there. So his wrestling name was Zoltan Boscik. So he passed away and he's actually the godparents of Steffi and Luke. So we asked Sue to come in on the horse and we asked if we could, name him after Zolly because he was a lovely, big, strong Hungarian man with a nature that was like a little kid really. But so yeah, it's a sentimental horse, this fella, really, to be honest, but we love him.
I love that. I love that behind it too. So, family tie, long friend, and you name the horse after him. And we all know that sometimes the horses can't run. You must have been so relieved when he won. First up, when you give a horse, like you obviously had an opinion of the horse to ask whether you could use that name.
Yes, yeah, right from the start. He's, like I say, his manners have been good, and yeah, it was more just to have the family, we're all part of it, and to have an interest in it, and for Sue and and that to be part of it. It's it has made it special, and to win 2 out of 3s, we're pretty sport and lucky, to be honest.
What is next for him? There were some major announcements the other night that might have tweaked your ears a little bit. There's some nice 3-year-old trots coming up towards the end of the season. Do you think he's good enough to measure up to those sorts of races? And
yeah, we'll just take it as it comes now. If he needs a wee freshen up, going through the grades pretty quick is a bit hard because, you're lining up against horses that have had 100 starts and won 10 races and 100,000. So it's pretty hard when you've only had, 3 starts. But hey, we'll see what happens, and he'll tell us. And if he needs a wee break, we'll give it to him. And if he's happy with the way he's racing, we'll just keep racing him. So,
how many horses are you training?
We've got half a dozen there at the moment. Only got a couple of race horses. The rest are all young ones, and we're breeding from a few, like another chapter, which is a sister to this one, and also Christian Who. So, we've got some quite nice, well-bred foals in that round there that we can pot around with, and we'll hopefully Luke can come home and he can start training some and hopefully train some winners for us.
We're just comparing injuries there before. It's a bit of the walking wounded. You're about to have a shoulder surgery, so Lukey's going to come home and look after the fort for you.
Yeah, no, he said he'll come home and help out. The operation, a couple of days in hospital and then 6 weeks in a sling and then 6 months rehab. And Joshy's just had the same one, so he didn't come today. He's feeling a bit sorry for himself and pretty sore. So, it's just a bit disappointing. He was going real good with the dentistry side of it, and he had some lovely clients in the South Island and the North Island, and all parts of the equestrian side of it. So. And equine, so he was pretty lucky, but he's just got to get this right and then see what happens from there.
Yeah, definitely got to look after your health. I was lucky enough, Joshy stayed with us when he was learning the dentistry a few moons ago, and it's a cool sport. I think sometimes we undersell the sport about how you can meet people and friends, and you can have friends from just through meeting, just having a little bit of time, isn't it, sometimes?
Oh, for sure, and then when Josh told us, you're over here at cup time and everything, and that you'd stayed at your place, it's amazing. It's a small world, but like you say, there's some great people in our industry right through, Australia and New Zealand. Some of my best friends are Aussies, so, it's great to be a part of it.
We go okay, us Aussies.
Yep, did right.
Took too long to answer that. Yeah.
The colours are green and gold, so you've got to.
I'll claim that. That's okay. Yeah, definitely we'll claim that. Jeff, thank you. Keep up the good work. You do have a bit of a history too. I think it's with the Panthers, don't you? Too. You keep a bit of on that.
Yep. No, with the NRL, we are at the moment. I'm actually with the Doggies. So
they had a win last night over the Tars. You've been all sorts.
Yeah, mate. Both sides didn't really deserve to lose that one. To be honest, 1 point each would have been a fair indication. But hey, it was good. They're rebuilding, and they've got some pretty nice players there, and mate, the NRL's humming at the moment, especially not only the men's comp but the ladies comp's going to fly. It's been good, but it's going to get better. So, mate, to be honest, rugby league, not only in New Zealand, Australia, is at an all-time high, which is pretty good for us die-hard leagueies.
Well, it was interesting. I was at the Commodore last night, where they put me up, and everyone was saying about. The All Blacks are there was more interest on that game. There was a few people. Nigel Armstrong, I think he had a little wager on the Doggy, so he was a little bit happy as well. His theory was random. He said every time he backs the Waratahs, they get beat. Oh. So he decided to back the Doggies, and the Dogs got up. So he sort of couldn't lose.
Yeah. No, it's a good comp, and like you say, if you don't turn up and have the right attitude, mate, some teams can put 40 or 50 on you, so, but, two games last night went to golden points, so it shows you how close the comp is.
No, absolutely. Can talk a lot. Anyone think I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. Although I do know that there's a bit going on in the state of origin too. Latrell's out, so he's actually out. So you see, all of some people are going to say, but that I learned that one second hand. Stable name Zolly. Is that what Zolly? Good luck with him. Lovely trotter. I really liked him. He's got a lot of improvement because, as we both said, he come off the track a little bit hot, but nice little trotter, and keep up the good work, and tell Joshy to get well soon as well, mate.
Thank you very much. Thanks.